Hello, welcome to my channel Binary Scoop, a scoop of knowledge. Purpose of this video tutorial is to understand need of behavior parameterization in Java, behavior parameterization using classes, behavior parameterization using anonymous class, and how to use the lambda expression for behavior parameterization. This video tutorial make a strong foundation for understanding the lambda expression. There is a advantage of using the lambda expression for behavior parameterization. We will see that code becomes more concise and more readable in this video tutorial. So please watch this complete tutorial to understand this concept. So let's move in and see how it is helpful to understand the lambda expression. Okay, to understand the need of behavior parameterization, I need to take 1 or 2 minutes. Let us assume that your company boss come up with a student app requirement, and student app requirement contains two functionality: filter the student by age, filter the student by marks. Filter the student by age means student list should be filtered based upon age criteria, and filter the student by marks means filter the student based upon marks criteria. After end of the day, you come up with your design with a nice code and create two methods: filter by age, filter by marks. Filter by age, filter out the student based upon age criteria. Here age criteria is those student whose age is more than 15, and marks criteria is those student whose marks is greater than 95, and return that list. Your code is working fine, your boss is happy, your client is happy. Now after some days, your boss come up with two new requirement, that filter the student by class, filter the student by address. Here filter the student by class means that student should be filtered out based upon the class criteria, and filter the student by address means filter out the student based upon the address criteria. You just start creating the method for these two requirements, but your boss stop and give new input that such type of requirement will also come in future. So start thinking innovatively. You have now two approaches: either create one method for each functionality, or create a single method which can filter out all type of filter operation. It would be nice if we can achieve a single filter method which can filter out all type of filter operation. To achieve this, let us do some observation. Okay, we are designing the generic filter method. Generic filter method has same iteration logic which has previous methods. We iterate over the student list, and for each student we check the particular condition using test method. If that condition pass, we add that object into list of the student, and then that list of the student is returned by filter method. So responsibility is now on test method to test the age, to test the marks, to test the address, or to check any other rules. So how it can be possible that a single test method has many forms: to test the age, to test the marks, to test the address, and to test any other generic rules? Is it possible in object oriented programming? Please pause the video and think about it. So it is possible using polymorphism. Now we will design this test method according to object oriented principle, polymorphism. Okay, to complete the filter method, we have created the student predicate interface. Student predicate interface is implemented by two classes. One is student marks filter, other is student age filter. Therefore there is a relationship between student predicate and these classes. We can see that inside student marks filter, test method is overridden, and student is filtered based upon the marks criteria. Similarly, inside the student age filter test, student is filtered based upon the age criteria. Moreover, we can notice that student predicate is a type parameter of filter method. Therefore, any object student marks filter or student age filter can be passed to predicate object. In other words, we can say that code of test method can be passed to predicate object. This is called behavior parameterization. We will study more about behavior parameterization in next slide. Okay, to call the filter method, we need to create the separate class like student age filter, which filter the student based upon the age criteria, student marks filter, which filter the student based upon the marks criteria, and pass these object to filter method. If we have new requirements comes up like filter the student based upon the address, then we need to create the separate class like student address filter, which filter the student based upon the address and pass the object of this class to the filter method. So as the new requirements comes up, we just need to create the separate class and pass that object to the filter method. So how we can define the behavior parameterization? Behavior parameterization is software design pattern that lets you handle the frequent requirement changes. Moving to the next slide. As just we see that to call the filter method, we need to create the separate class and pass the object of that class to the filter method. But if we use the anonymous class, then there is no need to create the separate class and just create the anonymous class at the time of calling that method, and it makes the codes more concise as compared to using the classes. Next, we will see how lambda expression makes the code more concise and more readable as compared to the anonymous class. Here you can see the two version of filter method, filter version 1, filter version 2, filter version 3. Filter version 1 is implemented using the separate classes and interface. Filter version 2 is implemented using anonymous class and there is no need of separate classes. So it is more concise as compared to filter version 1 method. Filter version 3 is implemented using lambda expression, and lambda expression, it makes the code more concise and more readable. Here we can see that code is more concise as compared to previous two method. The syntax for lambda expression is this: parameters and statements. So key takeaway from this video is behavior parameterization is software design pattern that lets you handle the frequent requirement changes. Lambda makes the code more concise and more readable. So what next? We will study more about lambda expression. In this video, we just study that lambda expression makes the code more concise and more readable. Thank you.